The best quality hybrid and traditional photo lighting and shooting videos are available for you at ShootSmarterUniversity.com. And they're less than $10 a piece, too. Hey, it's Crockett. How are you? Hey, I was in the city today on my motorcycle, and I got a little push behind, so I had to drive home in the rain. But you know what? It's not a big deal because I'm prepared. And in my motorcycle, I carry a rain suit. I have a waterproof gloves set. I've got a helmet that allows me to ride in the rain. My motorcycle really doesn't care about the rain. It's actually made for that kind of stuff. And I can go where I need to go. I've got rain suit pants over my regular pants, and I got a jacket here. Look, I got a business shirt on. I'm nice and dry. So I had a successful day today because I was prepared. Well, what the heck's that got to do with cameras? Let me share something with you. One of the reasons we're moving from DSLR to mirrorless is the fact that the mirrorless cameras allow me to be a little more prepared. Sure, they shoot photo and video and audio, and maybe they're simpler to use, but one of the reasons that I am really comfortable with the location work that I'm doing now, which I'm branching back out, I went from doing lots of studio work now doing more location work, is mirrorless cameras are allowing me to have all the backup I need. Just like on my motorcycle, I've got rain suit, I've got yellow glasses that allow me to see better when it's raining. When I'm shooting mirrorless, I can pack in a tripod. That's right. These little Me Photo tripods that I love so much, I know I get made fun of sometimes from people that say, you know, Will, you got a $1,200 carbon fiber tripod there and you're going to use a $250 tripod? Well, yes, I am. Want to know why? This tripod fits in my camera case and I don't even know it's there until I need it. Do you ever have a shoot that you go and you wish you had a tripod, but you don't have a tripod and the truck's a quarter of a mile away and you can't go get what you want? That's right. I've always got one with me. Whether I'm using a backpack or if I'm using a roll-along camera case, I've always got my tripod. Terrific, right? Well, my DSLR, say a Nikon D800 with a 70 to 200 f2.8 lens, is too big and bulky for this, and that's not recommended. I wouldn't use it. That's not what that's made for. But if I were using a Lumix GH3, for instance, and the Lumix 35 to 100 f2.8 lens, which is literally the equivalent of that Nikon D800 and its 70 to 200, it now works on that little tripod just fine. That means I now have a better shot, right, with that GH3 on the tripod than the D800 without a tripod. Next, when we get into trouble and we're on a photo shoot, and our camera breaks, we get it wet, it just fails, whatever. We need a backup, right? One of my pet peeves, by the way, has always been on the seminar tours and stuff. Oh, you know, Will, I bought a new D800 and I'm keeping my old, D5100 for a backup. Whoa, no you're not. Those cameras are not the same. Forget about the image quality, but where the buttons are. If you have a failure in the middle of a shoot, and heaven knows if you've ever had one, you know it's instant panic time, right? You got to tell everybody to calm down. You got to fake like it's not a big deal. You got to reach into your bag. You got to pull out another one that's identical. You need to assemble it and get back to work. The only backup for a pro photographer is a second body that's identical to the first. D800s are great, but they're crazy expensive. Very few of us can afford a second D800 body to be used just sparingly as a backup. Plus, they're pretty heavy, right? That means you got to travel around with all this backup gear that's really heavy. Hang on. When you move to mirrorless cameras, you'll find out that the bodies are a fraction of the size, a fraction of the weight. You can easily travel with just using the GH3 for instance, two GH3 bodies in your case. They still are less weight than one Nikon D800 body. Crazy, right? The whole tripod thing. That's a huge deal. Having all that stuff with you. The fact that you can afford now to have multiple bodies and maybe even multiple lenses. That's one of the reasons that mirrorless cameras are just smart. Now look, I'm not here to sell you a mirrorless camera. And one of the things that people get confused on when they get to our network and they see is, we're not trying to sell you a camera. What we're doing is saying your future, your professional future is shooting photo and video, and the video is going to have audio. And you can do that with a DSLR if you want to. Go right ahead. You're just going to find out that's going to be difficult to do. Mirrorless cameras are made to do that. So one of the reasons we talk about different cameras on our network in such detail is that we want to get the information across, right? I love the fact that Carol Schlintz up in Milwaukee, she went from her D700, D800s, I don't know what she had, I think she had a D800, into the Lumix GH3, and I asked her to vlog about it as she went, and she did a marvelous job of it. Other photographers using other cameras. I want you, as the audience, to see how they fit the new camera to themselves. If you're a DSLR shooter and you're reluctantly going into mirrorless, I want to help you find the right mirrorless camera for you and your style and your work. Yep, I do. That's one of the reasons I switch around my mirrorless cameras all the time. I'm doing my darndest to lead by example. But backups are crazy important. And you know one other thing that I learned? Sometimes when I'm going on a shoot, I'll actually run two cameras at the same time. Say I've got my mirrorless camera in my hand. That's my primary camera that I'm shooting photo and video with. I may take my little portable tripod and put it over there, put my backup camera on it, some sort of wide lens, let it run in video and capture whatever I'm doing here. It's easy to do. It's portable. It doesn't matter. So just be thinking the fact that it really is possible for a mirrorless camera, once it gets into your hands and into your system and into your head, could be one of the reasons you make better images than you did before. Hard to believe, right? Just got to try it and see. The best quality hybrid and traditional photo lighting and shooting videos are available for you at ShootSmarterUniversity.com. And they're less than $10 a piece, too.